So, first star of the run, and probably the first star many of you will get, actually, Blindfolded. And fairly enough, I personally think this is one of the hardest stars in the entire run. Okay, let's get right into it. There is, at the beginning, a camera manipulation you have to do that involves 4 camera inputs that you need to do. You can do it in a very fast speedrun way, because in the speedrun you reset the stage and you like instantly like boom, get the correct camera angle. This is the camera angle that you want. You have to look, like if you look straight up, the bridge is right in front of you basically. You look onto the sign. This is the angle that you want. But if you get a wrong, like you can also get this, for example, if you are too fast. If you are too slow, you do get this camera angle. It's like when you hit down left, see down left. But it's a very specific timing. But you can normalize that for Blindfolded and make this whole thing very consistent. You can do left, like C left, C down, C left, C down, C up, C down. And then you have the same camera angle. And the C left, C down in the beginning, they can be kind of like, they have to be late, but you can put them at the same time basically. So you can, during the drop, just like, boom. And then C left, C down, then C up, and it's important point is that you wait until the sound disappears. Because if you do it too fast, it sometimes doesn't work. Sometimes it clips like back. So you wait for the C up to finish, basically. So C left, C down, then you click like 1, 2, 3, C up, C down. And then you have the good camera angle. That's what I do. So C left, C down, 1, 2, 3 text boxes, C up, C down. Then from here, what I do is, we have to go to the fence now. What I do is 2 long jumps into jump dive, twice into a normal dive. The last dive you can cut out, but it looks like this. 1, 2, jump dive, roll out, jump dive, roll out. And then like another rollout. And then this is the position where you want to be in, right here. You can make all of this easier. You can honestly just hold up, I think. But the problem is there's this Goomba. And if he hits you, he will get you off path. So you want to go like above him with a jump dive usually. The long jump also works. If you just do long jumps, it also should work. C up, C down. It should work if you just mash long jumps too. 3, 4, 5. But like unexpected things can happen, like this for example. I bounced on the Goomba. I still got here after all, so it's still good if you do this. But personally, what I found so far the most consistent is 2 long jumps into jump dive, because he will never be there in time, and if then you kill him. The same with the second. The last jump dive you can also cut and just run up here. Basically you just need to go into this position. Then, second part of the star is from the fence to the corner of the Chain Chomp. So we need to go from here to this corner right here. This is where we want to end up. How do we do this? There are 2 methods. One involves the first beat count of the run. And for that I have to explain beat counting, because you will need it. I will say it right now, you will need to learn how to beat count inputs. For this tutorial at least. There are, for everything there are strats without beat count, but it makes life so much easier. So, beat counting. Can you hear the music? I will turn it up a bit. And now, this music, right? The background music of BobOmb. It has like this. It has the rhythm, right? Dun 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 dun. You know what I mean? If you just count the rhythm of the music, like just jam to it. Just jam to it, like dun 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 dun. You know? This is what I use for counting basically everything in this run. The background music of the game. And for example, what I mean with beat counting is we count those beats and input different kind of things in accordance to these beats. So if I, for example, say hold up for 2 beats, then I don't hold up like 2 seconds because that's super vague. You don't know how much is 2 seconds, like 1, 2, or is it like 1, 2? Like seconds, you can count them pretty precisely, but they are never super precise. But if you count the background music, it is always 99% consistent. So 1, 2, 1, 2, tick, tick, 1, 2, tick, tick, 1, 2, tick, tick. You know? You can count, for example, 2 beats right, 2 beats neutral, 2 beats left, 2 beats neutral. This is how I navigate basically through the entire game in like all of my speedrun. And you can also do like, for example, like 2 beats up, 2 beats up, then on beat number 3 you can do C right, on beat number 4 you can jump. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know? And then with this you can create like strings of beat counts, which is like 1, 2 up, 3 C right, 4 jump. And basically you just hit it like a rhythm game. You just play Super Mario 64 rhythm game version, and then you hit like up, up, C right, jump. And you just have to hit it like in accordance with the beat. And if you do that, you always perform your strat the same way every time. And that's kind of the entire magic of blindfolded speedrunning. Because, for example here, I can show you one strat that involves beat counting going from here to the corner. You hit C right, 2 beats up, C right, 2 beats up, C left. So 1, 2, C right, 1, 2, C left, 1, 2. And you get here. Basically like this you can make even your own strats to somehow path your way to wherever you want to go. So that was beat counting 101, I guess. We will use that for many things later on, which will get very complicated, but it is something one needs to know. So here, as I said, one beat count is 2 C right, and then 1, 2 up, on beat number 3 C right, and then 1, 2 up, and then C left. 1, 2, C right, 1, 2, C left. And then you just walk up all the way until you reach here. Now this is pretty slow, to be fair, but it works. You just have to try it out yourself. What you can also do, what I do in runs these days, is I hold up left for a tiny bit and then do a left long jump. So I do like left long jump into up hold. So I just repeat this in like real time once. I hold like up left, left, long jump, up left, left, up. You can see it on the input display better probably than me speaking around. But this is a very, very fast method to get into the corner. Up left, left, long jump, up left hold, and then when you land you hit up and just walk there. And as soon as you hit the gate, it should not be the biggest problem to get here. You hold up right. And this sound here, you hear the sound, this ch-ht, ch-ht. This is a very, very important sound in the game, because this indicates that we are at the corner, and corners are used to normalize positions. And from normalized positions, we always know exactly, okay, we are here in the Chain Chomp corner, from here we need to do X, Y strat, and then we get to the next point where we need to go. So remember this sound, it will be an important sound cue for later on. Then, from this corner, what I do, there are also many different strats in BOB, but what I specifically do here is, as soon as oh yeah, one more thing, very important, with normalized corners. If you are on a normalized corner, I highly advise you, when you hear this sound, pause buffer, go neutral on the analog stick, you see, like I was upright, go neutral, and then unpause. Because if you hold upright and like just go neutral yourself, it can happen that, for example, you see, I don't know if you know what I mean. sometimes like this, how Mario is standing right now, is a different state of Mario than this, because here he is aligned with the wall and he's like hugging the wall kind of. But sometimes you like tiny bit walk, and that it makes inconsistencies, and things are so precise that if he stands like this and not like against the wall, it will just simply not work anymore. Specifically for this star, it is like that. So always when you reach a corner, do like a super quick pause buffer. It doesn't need to be long, just like din din, din din, go neutral. Okay, that's corner pause buffering for neutral state. That's very important for later. Another thing that we now use is locked cam. So you go into the menu, 2 down and 2 right, and there's the locked cam. Very important to note that we use this quite a lot, and in case you game over at some point in the run and you continue your save file, you will be back to Mario Cam. So remember that. If you, for example, are in a stage where you need to fixed cam something and you game over and then continue, you will not have fixed cam anymore. You will have to switch it again in the menu. But yeah, we use fixed cam. We hit 1, 2, 3. No, wait. What I do is hit C right as many times as I can. It's usually like only like 2 times and you're on the maximum. So just hit a few times C right here. And then 4 punches. Punch the wall. You need to wait a tiny bit until he gets out of this driving state. And 1, 2, 3. 3 more punches. Then we lock the cam with the Mario Cam button and we need to hold it. And now comes into play ZBuffering. ZBuffering, also a technique I have not explained yet. But it is the same thing as pause buffering. Like, you input something on the analog stick during the pause, right? And you can do the same thing if you do a crouch. It's important that the crouch you only tap. The tap is because you see, look at my input display. You see I can input stuff on my analog stick during the animation, and Mario does not move. And that is ZBuffering. That is very powerful, because if you pause buffer inputs, for example now, I could pause buffer this input, but in the pause screen the music stops. And if we need to beat count from a state to like where we still need to buffer an input, we kind of have to like imagine the music and then beat count it from there, which is difficult. So we beat count the Z buffer. So we say like on 1 we Z buffer, and then on 3 we jump, for example, like 1, 2, 3. Or like we hold we Z buffer left, we buffer left, and then on 3 we jump. 1, 2, 3. You know, these are like the things you can do with buffering. It's an extremely powerful tool. And the one thing that you need to think with ZBuffering is that it takes a while for the animation. So mostly it ends after like 3 beats, usually, of different kinds of BGMs. But that's more for routing, that's not so important if you just want to learn the star. But what I do here is... Whoa, whoa, right? The dog makes this bark sound every few and then. Do-do. Do-do. Right? And this sound is important because we need to count this sound. This sound plays also like consistently. But what we want to do is a pretty complicated thing. That's why I always say this star is one of the hardest stars, I think, in the run. So we have to beat count, but we have to start the beat count from the sound of the bark. Like the bark sound starts, and then we count 1, 2, 3, 4 in accordance to the beat. It usually aligns with the beat. It's not super precise. It usually aligns so you can just continue counting the beat. But sometimes he barks like right in between 2 beats, then you just wait for the next bark. So 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. So basically you use the bark as the first beat. 2, 3, 4. Right? And then what I do is on beat number 4, very important, I Z-buffer left. Z-buffer left. So on beat number 4 I hit Z and hold left, and then it's a beat count sequence, because at 11 I jump and at 12 I ground pound. It's all one string, so 1, 2, 3, 4 Z-buffer, hold left, and then you count 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then at 11 you jump, and at 12 you ground pound. And that will get you right on the pole where you need to be. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You see what I mean? The positioning with the 3 punches and the locked cam makes it so that you exactly run straight into the lock, and 11, 12 will hit the lock with the ground pound. It's like a very already big established strat. You just need to learn this beat count basically, and then you are super easy good to go. It works literally every time. It kind of depends on... you need to kind of look out that you don't count too much on the ground pound. If you count like 12.5 beats, it might be too far. But 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, that did not work. I guess I did make something wrong with the setup. Don't forget the C rights here. Punch. 1, 2, 3. Lock the cam. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I probably forgot the C rights there. And then you need to make 3 quick ground pounds. That shouldn't be too hard. Just 3 quick ground pounds. And then we hit C left max until it doesn't go further with C left. And we hold left into long jump, left long jump, and then we hold up left and mash long jumps. We have to walk like 2-3 steps in the beginning, so we hit the star. So we do like this, and then we basically walking into the star. But we have to first do these 3-4 steps left. That's very important. And I did not make a here. A backup for this is if you, for example, miscount or you bonk, you don't get the thing. You can hold up left continuing and to left, and then you reach this corner here. This corner you need to find. And one easy backup is you double jump, kick from the wall into down. During the flight you hold down, and then you get the star. But otherwise you can just 1, 2, 3, 4, and then mash the hell out of it. Just take a few steps in the beginning, that's important. So again, very long explanation for this star because all the new concepts like beat counting and ZBuffering got explained. But we will need those for later on, so it's better to explain them early rather than late, I guess. Any questions for this star? I know it was a lot, but this is the foundations that we will use from now on. Is the timing for that sound different on JP? The sound is different. The timing should be exactly the same. Because you just count from the beginning of the sound cue, it doesn't matter how long it plays and everything. ZBuffering explanation made things click for me. Nice. That's good. It's basically like a slightly different pause buffering, just that the music keeps playing and that you have to like have only a limited amount of time to input your things. But you get the advantage that the music keeps playing, which is nice for beat counting and setups.